Hi, Giovanna. Thank you for your presentation. I really enjoyed how you broke down the perception process and applied it to Michael Scott. I actually like The Office. My boyfriend got me into it. One thing that stood out to me right away was how clearly you connected each step of attending, organizing, and interpreting to specific scenes from The Office. It made the theory feel very easy to understand, even for someone who might not watch the show. I specifically liked your point that Michael isn't responding to what's actually happening, he's responding to his interpretation of what's happening. That's such an important distinction, and you explained it in a way that felt really natural. Something I learned from your example is how someone's internal insecurity can end up shaping the entire social environment around them. You showed how Michael's need for affirmation doesn't just affect him, but it also influences how his employees begin to perceive him too. That cycle of, I think they don't like me, so I act in a way that annoys them, which makes them actually not like me, was a really strong illustration of how perception can create reality. If I could offer one piece of constructive feedback, it would be that I would have loved to hear a bit more about what causes about the causes behind Michael's poor self-perception. You explained the effects really well, but connecting it briefly to self-concept or self-esteem from the chapter could have made the academic link even stronger. Still, your overall analysis was engaging and very clear. I also liked the strategy you mentioned at the end, coming up with 3 different possible interpretations to avoid jumping to conclusions. That's such a practical takeaway. My question for you is, do you think Michael's behavior is mostly driven by insecurity, or do you think part of it comes from him wanting to feel included because he sees himself as a friend rather than a boss? I'd love to hear how you interpret that dynamic. Thanks again for your insightful presentation.